Okay, welcome back. We have in the house Janet Adetu, and she's going to be talking to us about wedding receptions. Good to have you here,
Good
Janet.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank
I'll start
you.
by asking you a question.
Yes, please.
Are you going for a wedding reception? That was a whisper.
Actually, today, no.
Okay.
National whisper.
No.
Great. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about wedding receptions. Basically, we all love weddings, and especially when it's
We
not
all
raining.
love weddings?
Well,
Okay.
more or less, we love the fun and the fanfare and the pageantry.
Yeah.
All right, and you can imagine if somebody is a family member getting married, it's like
the
there's a hype.
excitement.
But I'm going to be talking about wedding receptions today, regarding the fox part, the wrongs of wedding receptions, and specifically to our territory here in Nigeria. And basically, when last did you go to a wedding and you left feeling disappointed? Or have you
Sometime-
ever been to a wedding, really,
Yeah.
and you actually left feeling disappointed?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, well, sometime around, I think November or so, went
Okay.
for a wedding. And my wife and I sat down there, and we did not see the couple. Not that we didn't see them, they were there. But we saw the MC talking, and we're like, hold on, wait, are we here for the
Can we
MC?
see the person or the people why we're here for?
So I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. Okay, so I'm going to go through. First of all, when it comes to weddings, gate crashers. Now, why am I starting with gate crashers? Were you invited to that wedding? So many a times you get to a certain wedding and there's nowhere to sit. It's either because you that is doing the wedding, you got a place that cannot accommodate your crowd, and therefore it's inconvenient for the people that are coming, or maybe your place is filled up with a whole lot of gate crashers. And the ideal thing really to do, and it's not by accident that people now say by invitation only. Now some people say, well, I can't give by invitation. That means you're setting yourself up for a catastrophe. You want the whole world to come. Of course the food is not going to be enough and the drink is not going to be enough, and there's going to be so much problem. So you really need to make sure that the hall you take has the capacity to take the quantity of people that you are inviting. Don't just invite the whole world and think that because people are coming at different times, there'll be a time when everybody's going to be there. And it's a big problem when you can't sit down. And that's the beginning of a lot of issues. What to wear when you're going for a wedding reception? Now, the issue I have is either that it's too revealing, it's too flamboyant, or it's too dressed down. So some people don't think when they're really going to a wedding, they just go there. Most times, dress appropriately for a wedding. Sometimes you go to certain weddings, maybe the person's actually overdressed, you think they are the bride. You know, sometimes have a bit of consideration for who's doing the
Just
wedding.
so you don't outshine.
So you don't outshine the bride, really and truly. And not because you don't have great things to wear in your wardrobe, at least be sensitive to the occasion, you know. It's freedom of choice, of course. But then again, when you wear something that is too bling bling or that is too attractive, you know, you're drawing attention away from the couple, as the case may be. Asoebi is another thing. It's great. It's not compulsory at all. But if they have chosen asoebi and you don't want to buy it, just ask for the color code if they have it and try and stick with it. It's only just to be part of the celebration. You know, I would say when it comes to color and asoebi, sometimes some people will say, I don't buy asoebi because my wardrobe is full of so many and I don't have another place to wear it, or I don't like wearing what the general people wear. I would suggest, if that's the case, ask for the color code and try and stick within it just a little bit. You know, if they've said blue and you want to pick something from your own wardrobe, try and stick within the range of blue. Don't go and stick out like a sore thumb and wear bright yellow, if you know what I mean. And it's not because you don't have the freedom to wear what you want, but you're just trying to be part and parcel of the celebration. It's just trying to be my fellow keeper, so to say. You know, when it comes to dress code as well and color, I would say, I don't know, I've been to a few weddings when I've seen some ladies wear white gowns. I would say stay away from white because the bride is wearing white. Why would you pick white to wear? I really think it's it's not appropriate to wear a white gown to someone's wedding. It looks a bit off. You know, if the color code for the day is traditionally white, that's totally different. Everyone's wearing the white traditional outfit, and of course there'll be a colored head tie to go with it. But wearing a white gown looks as if, you know,
and then the type that may be looking like a
it's going to definitely look like a wedding
dress,
gown. Yeah, an evening dress, and you now stick out. And for me, I think it looks a little bit off when you wear a white gown to someone's wedding, especially when white gowns are not the scheme of the day. All right, that's just the way I feel, because it's not your wedding. At the end of the day, it's not your wedding. All right, seating. You know, a lot of people tend to feel that if this wedding is going to be big, let's not bother go to the church. Let's go to the reception first. So some people rush to the reception, just because they want to get good seating, and then you tend to find that the organizers have actually labeled certain tables with specific family names, and I've actually seen where people actually take that off and they sit there because they feel that everywhere is already full. I don't want to sit at the back, this table is empty, they're not here now, and they take it off, or they turn it down, or they switch, you know, names about. It's not very polite, especially if it's something that you've just gone to grace the occasion. But you get people doing that. And then even with sitting again, you get people pulling up seats, or come and sit here. So you have a table of 10, and then you now pull 4 more seats there. You've disarrayed the other table, and you've now made this table a little bit too compact, and then it looks a bit off. You've gone there to completely disorganize somebody's setting, you know. And if that table is full, pick another table. If indeed they are ready to join the tables together, let them do that. But you can't get up and say, you can't get up and disorganize somebody's party. Again, because of that, you find that too many people, you may have gate crashers at that point in time. And then it gets to a point where when it comes to seating, because you haven't organized how many people are coming, the place is so full, so many people are already seated, and a whole lot of people are standing. So you really need to budget. Do I have the appropriate venue for my guests so that at least when they come, they're not inconvenienced?
Or maybe if, for instance, you have planned, say, 300 people coming for your party, you just make extra. Maybe.
Yes.
Because I hear some people, maybe you're the one invited for the party, just say, oh, Yami, let's go together.
Yeah.
And
that's
then,
gate crashing.
You want to carry your friend along.
You know, you just want your friend around you.
The matter is that, yes, you want your friend around you, but the polite thing to do is actually to call and say, you know what, I have an extra guest also. Because sometimes they're now getting so strict, especially when they're society weddings. I've been to weddings where even where the person is wearing their ashoebi and they didn't have that gate pass, the bouncers bounce them off. That's how strict they're becoming now. Yeah, because you can understand, it costs a lot to do a wedding, and you just can't cater for everyone. And you really want to make sure that that person has been invited. So if indeed you need extra passes to get in, just call and ask. And if they have, they will certainly give you. Otherwise, you know, do the right thing. Feeding, oh my goodness, at wedding receptions, what do you see? I always see that sometimes it's a case of poor organization, poor distribution of the food. Sometimes you're sitting right next to the dessert and they pass you and they don't give you. How many times have you seen food flying over your head and they still don't give you?
It doesn't get to you.
You know, and at times when it comes to feedings, you've invited people to the wedding of a family member, and they've been there since 10 o'clock, and then they get to reception around 1. They're sitting there, 1, the bride and the groom haven't come, 2, it's probably 3 o'clock, no drink, no food. I think that's an issue. At least give them water, some juice, and some small chops, at least if indeed you don't want to serve the food at all. And it happens a lot where some people go to parties, some people have eaten 3 or 4 times, and some people haven't eaten at all, and they leave offended. So the distribution, sometimes there's eye service as well when it comes to serving of the food. So this side of the table gets everything,
like the sister,
from the
you know,
chicken and chips to the fish and chips to the small chops to the
and then the other table, they're just watching.
Yes, and they're calling and calling, please, when are you going to serve us? And you just see chaos. chaos. Sometimes the caterers themselves are the cause of the chaos. You know, they don't have a proper distribution system, and then you now have to you find sometimes the guests go up there and go to where the caterers are asking for food, and it's a big fight. Or from where you're seated in the hall, you can hear some fighting going on out there because people are telling them that we haven't eaten. Or better still, because everybody